And Patrick, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's in the sky this
Okay,
month?
so what's in store for us in October in the night sky? Well, we'll start with this picture because I took this last night. And if you were out last night, you would notice that there was a bright object just below the moon, and that was the planet Jupiter. If we go to the next slide, there it is identified. And I don't have to identify the other planet because our telescope demonstrator is a laser pointing to it. It's the planet Saturn. So these are the two planets that are prominent in our evening sky. All you have to do is look towards the southwest. Way after sunset, and you'll be rewarded with a view of these two bright planets. And some stars if the sky is a little bit clear, especially here in Los Angeles. So how about tomorrow? Well, tomorrow the moon will have moved over towards Saturn, so it's going to be right next to Saturn. And if you come to the observatory tomorrow, we have a star party where members of the Los Angeles Astronomical Society and other astronomical societies will set up their telescopes, and you can look through them and get an exciting view of Jupiter and Saturn throughout the evening tomorrow. Through a medium-sized telescope, this is what looks like the two planets photographed. Through a telescope, you can visually see the equatorial bands of Jupiter and the rings of Saturn. So if you've never seen the rings of Saturn through a telescope, it's worth taking a look. If you're coming in tomorrow, do take a look through our telescopes. You'll be really wowed about seeing the Saturn's rings. Now, here's a challenge for you. Venus is slowly emerging out of the evening twilight, and you should be able to see it. So on October 29th, the moon will be just about 4 degrees above Venus. And if you start looking towards just north of southwest, you should be able to see a bright spot in the sky. It's not an airplane. It will be the planet Venus. And you can track that all the way down towards the horizon around about 6:30. It should be a beautiful sight. A pair of binoculars you will definitely be able to see it. And also, if you can try and catch a glimpse of the one-day old moon, you'll see mostly a lot of earth shine. So that's something that's worth looking for. In fact, on Monday, our astronomical observer, Tony Cook, took this picture. And you can see that little dot there. That's the planet Venus in a bright evening twilight. It's very hard to see. Once you see it, you can just see it as a little tiny pinpoint of light, but it's just visible. But it's more visible towards the end of the month. So just go out and you'll be able to see Venus emerge from the western horizon. So let's take a look at our moon phases. Well, we have various moon phases, and one of them I wanted to point out is the last quarter moon on the 21st of this month. You can see that in the early morning sky, so let's take a look at what that looks like. There's the last quarter moon right there below the constellation of Gemini, below these two bright stars, which are the heads of Gemini twins. This is Castor and this is Pollux. And our winter favorite constellation is Orion the Hunter. You can see it's 3 stars in a belt. You can use the 3 stars to point to this bright star called Sirius, which is the night sky's brightest star. And it's kind of low, and you can see it flashing in all colors of the rainbow. That's because of all the heat rising from the ground. So some people call in and say, well, I've seen this colorful star with all different colors. What is it? Well, that's the star Sirius. And you'll be able to see that emerge in our southern skies later in the month. In fact, early in the morning, just a few weeks ago, I took this picture, so you can see the constellation of Orion. There's its 3 stars for its belt, 2 stars for its shoulders, 2 stars for its feet, just above the haze and the light of Los Angeles looking towards the east. Now, on the same morning, you might be able to catch a meteor or two from the Orionid meteor shower. It's not a major shower. It produces just about 20 meteors per hour in a clear, dark sky. But remember, on the 21st, there's that moon in the way, the last quarter moon, so you might be rewarded with 1 or 2 bright fireballs. But that's your sky report for this month.
So before we leave this picture of the sky, a lot of times we like to point out different constellations to help you start to learn them. And this one, Canis Major, means the big dog, although this is kind of a little dog, just to help you remember it. Don't know if you saw that.
Is that the great puppy?
That's the great puppy, yeah. Not in the constellation Puppis, however.